Okay, so we've gotten two of our easy pieces. Let's move on to something a little bit more difficult. We're going to create a new document, and let's do our side piece. Now we only need to make one side piece on the computer, even though there are two pieces on the birdhouse itself. The same way we copied and pasted some of our letters, we can basically do the same thing, copy and paste our parts as well. So the basic shape is it's a trapezoid. So we're going to start out with a rectangle. We're going to make it tall and skinny this time around. I gave dimensions in our drawing, but moving on to our front piece and our roof piece, we are going to need angles to make those, make that slant line up for all the pieces. So we're just going to make this a 10-inch by 3.5-inch rectangle. Our bottom text box is open first, so we'll make that 3.5 inches. And whoops, let's make our side dimension 10 inches. Just in case you did not know, I am whoopsing on purpose so that if you whoops on accident, you guys can see how to fix any kind of error that you may run across. So there are a couple ways that we can proceed from this point. Okay, I'm going to do one way, and then I'm going to undo all the progress that I did and then start back from this point. So once you get to this point, you can progress two different routes. Once again, our side piece is a trapezoid, so we need to make sort of an angle. Unfortunately, Onshape does not have a chamfer in their 2D sketch platform, and that's okay. We have workarounds that we can use. I created a line. When you do that, you need to make sure that you are snapping to this northwest corner. It doesn't matter how long it is, as long as it's past the profile of the rectangle, it will be fine. Now we can dimension from our line to our northernmost line of our rectangle, and that changes from an inch dimension to a degree dimension. And we're going to make this a 30-degree angle. Now when we do this 30-degree angle, I'll show you what this dimension would possibly be. I need to do a point at this location in order to show that dimension. So from there to there, it's approximately 8 inches, which is what I did on the drawing, and that's not necessary to do that dimension. That's an over-constrained drawing. So we'll just undo that. So we have our angle set. Now we could trim off everything and make it just the profile that we want, but we don't have to, and I'll show you why. We can finish this sketch. We can change our view to isometric to make it easy on us, and then we can click on this bottom profile only, change our depth to 3/4 of an inch, finish that extrusion, and then we are done. Okay, and we didn't have to do any kind of trimming at all to our 2D shape. So we go back into the sketch to do the second route, and I'm going to delete this line. What we can do instead is finish this and then we can extrude it. We'll extrude this rectangle 0.75, inches. We'll finish that extrusion, and then we can draw on this again, and we can project our geometry. I'm going to project everything. You can click on this face and it will project all of our lines. What projection means is that it just traces the lines that we already drew. And then we can once again do a line. We can dimension that line to be 30 degrees. Now instead we can finish this sketch and we can extrude this top part. Now we don't want to give more mass to our part, we want to remove. So we're going to click on remove instead of add. And we can leave it 1 inch, we can make it 0.75 inches, and that will just take away the extra mass and not do any excess mass. And we're just going to do that like that for the time being. And then our side is complete. Now there's a third way that we can do it. So let's go and delete this. We'll delete this. We'll delete this. And we'll go back into our sketch. We'll finish it off again. We will extrude it again. 0.75 inches. But this time we can do a chamfer. And we can do a distance and angle on this. Now let's just see what that does. We already know that we need it to be 30 degrees, so we can change the angle to 30 degrees. Now this distance, let's just see what happens. If we change this to 1 inch, then everything projects and our 30 degree chunk gets bigger. Our 1 degree distance is traveling on the top of our piece. So this, between that point and this point, is 1 inch. Now the entirety of this length is 3.5 inches. So we can change that to 3.5 inches, and then we have our finished side piece. So we have 3 ways to make a side piece. Doesn't matter which way you do it, just as long as all of these, the angle is correct, the overall length is correct, and the overall width is correct, and the thickness is correct, then you have a correct part. So we can right click, export, rename the file name to side, step format, download it, okay, and then we can download that to our download folder, just like we have our bottom and back piece. And then we're done with our side piece.